Greetings and salutations, folks. I'm Josh from Layzee Acres. Thank you for tuning in. We are saving the world here, one trailer at a time. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a orientation on a Winnebago Minnie. This would also apply to a Micro Minnie or a Voyage out there. There's a lot of similarities between those ones. It's going to be a long one though, probably around an hour or so. We're going to go through how to operate the inside, the outside, the plumbing, the electrical, the gas, all that kind of stuff. This is that short story long. I'm here with my friend, that Dutch bad boy, Brendan Hannemeyer, on the camera today. Say hello, Brendan.
How's it going, happy campers? Thank you so much for tuning in to the #1 RV YouTube channel in the world. Thank you for following along on this awesome orientation video. You're going to learn lots. If you didn't know much yet, this is going to be awesome. We got a like button, we got a subscribe button. Hit both of those. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're on Facebook. Follow us along there also. Comment section is open. Let us know if you have any questions. Right
on, Brendan. Right here at the front, we have our hookup. So let's start with that, Brendan. All these Winnebagos have a 2 5/16 ball. So when you're coming with your truck or your car and you're hooked up to this next trailer, make sure you have a 2 5/16 ball. All the regular Minis or the Voyages, you're going to want to use some kind of weight distribution hitch. So you'll need something like that. The Micro Minis, if you got like a big truck and you're pulling one of the small ones, maybe you don't need one of those, but in general you're going to be using a weight distribution hitch, and those hitches typically come with a ball. So a 2 5/16 ball is what you need. You've got 4 things to make you legal going down the road. You've got your chains. They need to crisscross, so you got to take the chain from the left side, hook up to the right side, take the chain from the right side, hook up to the left side. So chains is first, then we lock our coupler onto our ball, put a pin in. That means the coupler can't come unlocked. That's the second thing. So chains, pin, then we've got your lights, and this is a 7-way connection to and these all have brakes, so you have to have a brake controller installed in your vehicle of some kind. 7-way connection, plugs into the back of your vehicle, activates the lights, the brakes, that kind of thing. That's your third thing. And then we've got your breakaway cable. This has to hook up to your truck, your vehicle of some kind, on a separate link. So not on the chain itself, it has to hook up onto a separate link onto the truck. So 4 things: lights, chains, breakaway cable,
action,
and your pin. Now, what does this breakaway cable do, Brendan?
If the vehicle disconnects from the trailer, then that's going to rip off, and then that's going to hit the brakes on the trailer. So it'll follow you along.
That's exactly it. Extend or retract for your front jack. That extends or retracts the leg. That's easy peasy. On off for your front light. That's also easy peasy. There's a manual override right here. You've just got to take this plug out, take that off, and you can bring this jack up and down manually with your 3/4 inch drive that you have a handle for. That same drive will activate, will override your stabilizer jacks as well as doing your slide out manually as well. So that same handle does your front jack, your stabilizer jacks, and your slide out manually if you need to. Right here we have our propane. I've grabbed a couple used tanks from a used trailer to do this properly. These valves need to be pointed towards the trailer. Sometimes these come in and they're actually pointed the wrong way. They're supposed to be pointing to the trailer, so have them hooked up that way. There's a valve here, or a switch selector. Whichever tank you want the trailer running off of, you're going to push that switch towards there. If this tank has propane, this will be green right here at the front. Come around this side here, Brendan. Sorry, Mike.
See it.
But that'll be green there. If this tank was empty, it would flip to red and automatically start drawing off of this tank. So that'll come here. I'll know this tank's empty because this is red. I'll flip this. It'll still be drawing off of that tank, but once that's flipped that way, then I can take this tank off and get it filled. When that tank goes empty, this will again turn red. I can flip this back to this side and then take that tank off and get it filled without actually shutting off your propane. So that's what we call an automatic changeover regulator. Good to go there, Brendan?
Yes.
You can't have your tanks on in tunnels, gas stations. There's one other one.
Ferries.
Shut your tanks off for that. Now here at the front, we've got our battery. When you're going to get your trailer, it should come with a battery and a box to cover this battery, but for demonstration purposes, they don't have the box. Red's positive, white's negative. Some people have a hard time with the white being negative, but the white is always negative, no matter what. Now, we're going to hook this up, like so. Red's positive, white's negative. These should be tight, so you should actually use a wrench when you're doing this to tighten these down. Sometimes if they're loose, they can kind of arc a little bit, and you'll lose power. You'll hit you'll pop a fuse or something like that. So you should tighten these down with a wrench. When you're not using the trailer, it is a good idea to disconnect the battery. We do have a solar panel though that's going to be charging the battery on all these minis, so I don't know if it really is that necessary, but certainly if you're storing the trailer inside, your propane detector, your radio, that stuff will slowly draw down the battery if you're not charging up the solar of some kind. So when you're disconnecting the battery, don't disconnect the positive side, just disconnect the negative. And then for the winter, bring this inside. Don't put it on a concrete floor. It'll go dead. So don't leave your battery on for the winter. Feel good about the battery, Brendan?
Yep.
Okay. There are some like resettable breakers and stuff like that in this area. So a lot of times if your 12 volt stuff isn't working, it's because one of them is kicked, hasn't reset itself. These sometimes have a manual reset, so that's often where you have a 12 volt issue if it's not at the
main breakers.
The main breakers, thank you. There's also one little fuse right here that's specifically for your front power jack. All right, coming down here, Brendan, we got our storage. While we're here, you want to be lubricating your baggage door locks because they'll kind of break down, and salt and stuff will get in there and break them down. So you want to be lubricating them. That way they're going to work for you really well. Lubricate your main door and lubricate your baggage door locks often. We have a battery disconnect right here, so never mind what I said about disconnect your battery. Just don't physically disconnect it. Just hit this in the off position. Still take it inside for the winter, but you no reason to really be disconnect your battery on the regular. Right here, we've got our charge controller. And you can select your battery type. You can go AGM or how do you say that? Sealed battery, lithium battery. You can select that right through there. You can see the amperage and the voltage. That kind of stuff is in through there. Good here, Brendan?
It's the tire.
So it doesn't have it though.
No, just prep.
It's prep for a tire pressure monitoring system. So that's where the repeater would clip into place. But you have to buy that. So you buy the repeater, you buy the valve stem pieces, and it goes through an app that will hook up to your phone. Good?
Yep.
Awesome. We have power jacks all the way around. Now these jacks aren't for leveling. You don't use them to pick the trailer up or anything like that. You just use them to stabilize the trailer. You can see the manual override. So we're just picking them up, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, that kind of thing, just taking the bounce out of it. When you're going to level your trailer, you just you back the trailer up on the site. You see how level you are side to side. If you're low on one side or the other, you're going to pull the trailer ahead, put a piece of wood down on the low side, and then drive up onto that piece. And that's going to level things side to side. Then, once you're level side to side, you're going to unhook the truck, get that out of the way, use your front power jack to level yourself front to back. So then you're level side to side and front to back, and then once you're level, then you bring down your stabilizer jacks once you're level. That makes sense, Brendan?
Yes.
Level side to side first with the wheels, front to back with the front power jack, and then extend your stabilizers and operate those. Now, right on, folks. So we had a little intermission there, but we're going to talk about the sewer here when we get to the back. This particular one has 2 sewer drains, so we'll do that all at once here. Right here we have our fridge vent. This one has the optional gas electric fridge, so you need to have venting for that. There's a little hose here that sticks out. It's just if it's a really hot day and the fridge is cooling, that just kind of lets the sweat off, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Just let that drip. Coming around here, Brendan, we've got a rack and pinion style slide. There's really not much maintenance when it comes to that. They also use the Schwintek style slides on certain other models. Again, not really much maintenance to that. The big thing is you need to keep your slide out seals moist. So you're going to take like a car seal lubricant, spray it on a rag, and then just run that rag up and down your bulb seal and on both sides your wipe seal, and that'll just keep the slide running nice and keep those seals nice and moist. For the Schwintek style slide, it has like a rail down the side. That's on the Micro Minis often. And you just want to make sure that is free of debris, there's no sticks or dirt or anything like that in there. On the rack and pinion style slide, you can lubricate these teeth right here, and you just take like a dry seal lubricant, spray in the teeth here while the slide's running in and out, and just do both sides like that. That's if you want to be like a super camper. Most customers don't do that, but if you want to lubricate your slide, that's how you do that on the rail right through here, and then keep your bulbs, seals, and your wipe seal lubricated as well. Now, we have a few different plumbing things here. So this white one is your city water connection. So if you have water at the site, right there at the site, you're going to bring your hose and hook it up right here, just like a regular garden hose fitting, just threads on. When you turn the water on, you're going to have water at all your taps, your sinks, your shower. You don't have to flip your switches or anything like that. You have water going in. Now, when you have your city water connection connected, you really should be using a water pressure regulator. That just brings the pressure to an appropriate pressure, so you don't blow any lines or fittings or anything like that. So when you hook up city water, have a water pressure regulator, spend the money and buy that. Right here's your outside shower. This is very, very straightforward. You just have like a hot and cold action on it. Do you have the right key? No. Sorry, Brennan.
All good.
You got any jokes?
I don't.
Me being prepared, that's a joke, eh, bud? I think it's the Bauer key. It is, too. Okay. So, the outside shower, you just have a shower head, not a big deal, hot and cold. The biggest thing with this is you gotta make sure you winterize it. So just make sure you're running antifreeze through it when you're gonna winterize it. We're gonna come back to winterizing right at the end. We'll leave that like that. Now, this black piece right here is your black water flush kit, and it does label that there for you. And let's talk about that right now. So, right here's your sewer. Okay. This cap comes off, just twists off like so. Your sewer hose is going to twist on. Let's say you have sewer right there at the site. Just like you got water right there at the site, you got sewer right there at the site. You're going to take your hose, put it into the ground, and you're hooked up to sewer. Then you can have your gray water open. Can you get down here? Sorry, you see that? They build them actually into the frame here. Okay? You can have the gray water open. As you're showering and using the sinks and stuff like that, that's going to run right out. It's important, though, that you keep your black water closed. You can see it have a gray handle and a black handle. Black handle has to stay closed. Once you use the toilet a bunch of times, the liquids in the wall and the solids will build up together. Once it's full, then you're going to come back out here, close your gray, like so, and open up your black. Okay? The liquids and the solids will run out together. The problem with leaving your black water open when you have sewer at the site, the liquids are going to run right out and the solids are going to build up at the bottom of the tank. So always leave your black water closed. Now, when you're draining your black water, it's coming out into the ground, or you're at the dumping station, it's coming out into that sewer tank. When the black water valve is open, then you can thread in your black water flush kit. So basically you just take the hose at the dump station, at the site, whatever, thread it into here, turn the water on, it's going to spray down the inside of your black water tank. It's imperative that you do not hook this up unless you have your black water valve open. That's a really, really bad thing, okay? So, you feel like we're good there in sewer, Brendan?
Yep.
Okay, so, yeah, this is the big thing, is just make sure you don't leave the black water open when you have sewer at the site. That's the one big key. The other big key is when you're draining your black water tank, only then can you hook up your black water flush kit. If you have satellite at the site, or you've hooked up a satellite, this is where you're going to thread it into. It's just a standard coax fitting, and that's going to run out to your main living room TV spot. And then right here is if you have cable at the site. This one, if you hook up cable at the site, boom, that actually splits out and will go to the outside TV, the bedroom TV, and the main TV. Right here, we have a 50 amp trailer. The Micro Minis will be a 30 amp trailer, but right now we're looking at Mini, so 50 amps. I've got an adapter here to adapt down to 30 amp service. Really, if I'm on 30 amps, I can run everything. I can run the AC, the electric water heater, all that kind of stuff. The only reason we have a 50 amp service on this guy is because we're prepped for a secondary AC. So if you put the second AC on and you hook up to 30 amp service, you won't be able to run both ACs at the same time. 50 amp service is for running 2 ACs, 30 amp service is for running 1 AC, and then if you adapt it down further to 15 amp service, which is what we got here, that means you can't run an AC or an electric water heater. So that's that. Okay. Spare tire, pretty straightforward stuff. You have a receiver right here. This is not for towing anything, it's just for like carrying some kind of bike rack or tote or something like that. So you're not allowed to tow behind a travel trailer. This is a door, lubricate your door locks. Get up on your roof and check your seals every 90 days. We've done a video on checking your seals, so check that out if you want to know what I'm talking about there. Those seals on the roof are absolutely imperative that you check them every 90 days. The seals down the side here, you still want to keep an eye on them, look for voids, that kind of thing, but they won't break down quite as fast as the roof sealant. So you still want to be checking that, but overall check your seals on the roof every 90 days, and then periodically check these as well. Outside shower. We already talked about the hot and cold one, that's pretty straightforward. This is just an outside spray port, so it's just cold water. This will activate just like a like an air fitting. So you need to take this, slide the sleeve back, push it in, and away we go. Okay. Again, big thing with this is people forget to winterize it, so make sure you winterize your outside shower and your outside spray port. Good. Thomas Geyser's on the tractor, so everybody watch out. For your outside cooktop, we've got a, not every model is going to have an outside kitchen like this one does, but we do have that. This is a gas fitting right through here. We can, we activate this like a, you good, Brendan? Yeah. We activate this like an air fitting, so the sleeve like so. We take it, thread in, or push it in here, push that back on, and then, where's this fit in going?
Along the back, no?
Oh, thank you, Brendan. Now, and then we have a valve down here we have to turn on, and then we'll have gas at the appliance right through here. We can light this, however you want to do that. Excellent. Don't forget to winterize your outside kitchen or your outside sink. This fridge right here is strictly 110, so unless you're plugged in, it's not going to be running. So it's not a 12-volt fridge or a gas electric fridge. That's a straight 110 fridge. These stairs right here, got to make sure you have your door all the way open for when you're bringing these down. Pretty straightforward. Have the door all the way open, then you can bring the stairs down. You can adjust the height of these stairs by these pins right here. So let's say you're at a site and the ground comes up like so. You'll need to shorten these legs to make that work. And then just make sure when you go to close the door that the door frame is going to clear the stairs right through there. We've got our tires. The tires, you want to keep at the maximum pressure, so just read your particular tire, see what the max pressure is. I think on these ones are 80 psi, but you should read that off your tire, keep them at the highest pressure. The aluminum rims in through here, have those torqued down to 110 foot-pounds. Really, when you pick up the trailer for the first time at the dealership, when you get home, you should retorque those. I think it says they're gonna be 50 miles or something like that. So the first little bit, make sure you keep on torquing those lug nuts down at 110 foot-pounds. Right here's your furnace. Don't touch it. Don't put a vent on it. Just leave that alone. Then right here we have our freshwater fill. So on the other side we had the city water connection. So that's if you have water at the site, you're going to hook up on the outside. If you don't have water at the site, you're going to fill up as you go to the campground or the filling station. And we're just going to take our hose. We have a hose, Brian. We're just going to take our hose like so. Put it into here, turn the water on, and that's going to fill up the freshwater tank. You'll know it's full because it still starts splashing out at you. Right here, you've got an outside receptacle that's attached to the GFI that's on the inside. So if that's not working, it's because your GFI is kicked. This right here is your water heater. We're going to come back to this when we do the winterizing, but there's really nothing for you to do here on the regular. Just for when you're draining, for your winterizing, you got to make sure you drain your tank. And then right here we have the awning. We're just going to extend that out. We got enough length here, Brendan?
Maybe just.
Maybe just, eh? Awnings are not meant to be used in windy situations, so if it's windy, put it away. If it's raining hard, put it away. If it collapses underneath the weight of rain or wind takes it off the side of the trailer, it's never a warranty thing, so in those situations, put your awning away. Extend it until the valance that you can see just hanging down right now is at 90 degrees. That's as far as it goes. And then you can pitch the awning. And you can pitch the awning by just pulling down like so, and that will create pitch one way away from the other kind of thing. And then when you go to put it away, just make sure you extend it back up like so. For when you're cleaning your awning, do not use like an abrasive cleaner like a dish soap. Just use something very mild. There's a film on the awning that will slowly break down if you use like something abrasive there. And then if that film's gone, it's just going to keep molding and it'll be very, very hard to keep clean. How you feel about the outside here, Brendan?
Feeling good. We have outside speakers. Then we got the radio inside. And we also have inside speakers, so you can play both the inside and the outside speaker at one time, or you can just choose which one you want to do.
Yep. The sealants is such a big thing, guys. Take a look at your corner molds. Take a look at your roof sealants. That's really, really important. Keep your door locks lubricated, your baggage doors, your main door, your slide-out system. The tires, we didn't talk about the bearings. You have to repack the bearings at 12,000 miles, grease the bearings at 6,000 miles. So you can grease them by just taking out this silver piece here. There's a rubber piece you can also take out, and then you can grease your bearings. So you do that 6,000 miles, and then at 12,000 miles, you have to bring it to the service center and have the bearings pulled apart, repacked, and put back together. Let's go have a look inside all the inside stuff. Right on, folks. We're inside that Winnebago Minnie. We're going to continue with this orientation. We're going to do all the interior stuff, then we're going to run the plumbing, and then we're going to winterize this thing. But first off, we do have a fire extinguisher. It's always by the door. That's right there. Right above your head, there's a smoke alarm. This has a 9-volt battery in it. Like so. If this battery gets low, it's going to start beeping once every 30 seconds. Check that, I guess every 6 months where they tell you to check for your smoke alarm there. And then right here, we have a propane detector and carbon monoxide detector right here. Now this is actually wired right into the trailer. There's no battery for that. If the battery on the trailer though starts to get low, like overall, that's going to start beeping because it can no longer detect propane or carbon monoxide. So it's also one of the things that will slowly draw down your battery, which is why you want to disconnect it in the off position. While we're down here, we've got our breakers and our fuses. They're usually behind some kind of cupboard like this with a Winnebago. This is a 50 amp trailer, so the breaker and fuses will look a certain way. 30 amp trailers with the Micro Minis will look a little bit different, but same overall principle. The breakers are for your 110 appliances, like your AC, your receptacles, those kind of things. If they're kicked, they'll look something like that. Kick those back on. And then right over here we have your fuses. They're for 12 volt things like your radio, your lights, your water pump, that kind of thing. If a fuse is blown, there's a red light that will light up right beside it. They're also labeled nice and easy there. Okay. In behind there's the actual power converter, and that's what we can hear kind of running in the background right through there. That's good there. We've got our radio here, Brendan. These are pretty straightforward, I think, right?
Yep, just like every other radio.
Yep, on and off. You got up and down for the volume. You have A and B for the speaker selection. It is Bluetooth, so you can run your phone through this as well. It's a JBL sound system, so it's actually a pretty good sound system in through there. That's pretty straightforward, though. Then we've got right here, I'll get the TV out of the way. Come on here, Brendan. If you ran satellite in from the outside in, that's going to come out in this guy right here. That will go to your receiver into your TV. That's pretty straightforward. This is the only satellite outlet. This right here is your cable outlet. There will be one outside for the outside TV and one in the bedroom. So if you have cable at the site, you're going to plumb it in right there. It's going to come out in this coax, run right to the TV.
What does green light mean?
So that is if you're using your TV antenna.
The antenna on the roof?
Yep.
Okay.
So same coax connections, but if you got the cable running into the trailer from the outside, you make sure you have your TV antenna off. If you're using the TV antenna, it's a digital antenna, you would turn that on. If you turn the antenna on while you're running cable, it's going to start and it'll say no, it won't work properly. So have that off when you're using cable, on when you're using the TV antenna. There's not a lot of radius with these TV antennas anymore, so unless you're like right beside some kind of center,
Major city.
yeah, you won't really pick up much.
It really is not pumping much out.
No, not these days. You've got a charger on here. That's 12 volts, so even if you're just on battery, you'll actually be able to charge your phone pretty easily there. My phone was just at 75%. Now it's at 55%. Right now.
Oh wow, busy boy.
Busy boy. Kind of sucks. Let's talk about the bathroom here. We do have plumbing going. I've turned the water pump on, so we actually have plumbing in here. You always want to make sure you leave water in the toilet bowl. That keeps the stink down. So just touch the pedal to push the water in the bowl. If you leave water in the bowl, the stink will stay down, the trailer will smell good. If you just leave this dry, like that, it's going to stink up in here, okay? So make sure you leave a little bit of water in the bowl. Your outside receptacle and your kitchen receptacle are attached to this GFI, so if they're not working, it's because that is kicked, okay? That's what it looks like when it's kicked. That button's pushed out. Push that back into reset. You have an on-off on your shower nozzle, so if you have the water where you want temperature-wise... Oh, I shut the pump off, didn't I?
Yep.
Okay, anyways. But if you have the water on where you want temperature-wise, bingo bango. Okay, run it?
Yep.
So we have water in the freshwater tank. I've turned the water pump on. I'm showering. This is, by the way, the kind of pressure you can expect off your water pump. But then I can just shut it off right here at the shower head. Okay. That'll keep the temperature where you want. Bingo bango. Shut off down here. Good. Bless you, Brendan.
Thank you.
Before you try to light your water heater, your fridge, anything like that, always come and light your stovetop first. So we've turned the propane on from the outside. Turn this to light. I can hear the gas coming out. And I just spark it. Okay. Always bleed your propane through like that first before you go try to light your. My phone ringing.
Spam call.
Spam call. Okay. That's funny. So always light this first before you try to light your water heater, your furnace, that kind of stuff. Let's. I'm not going to talk about the microwave. The microwave is a microwave. It's a convection microwave. Read the manual. This is your thermostat for your AC that's on the roof and your furnace. So we're just going to we're going to turn it on, and then we're just going to keep hitting the mode button through all the different modes. Okay. First mode that pops up is the fan, and then we can turn that on auto, low, high, auto. Okay. So this is just the fan that's on the AC. So if you want to force the fan to go on without the AC running, you just turn this to low, and the fan will come on. If you want to force it to go to high, turn to high, and then the fan will come on high. Come on. There it is. If you want the fan to just come on automatically when you turn the AC on, leave it on auto. That makes sense, Brendan?
Yes.
I'm going to push the mode button again. It's not that warm today, but it's probably about 55 degrees. So I'm on the cold mode, and I can adjust the temperature. AC comes on. It will run the fan at whatever speed it feels like it needs to cool down the trailer. And I can obviously adjust the temperature up and down. I think if I push the up and down button, it will switch to Celsius. No, I don't know how to switch to Celsius. Read the menu. Push the mode button, I'll go become the furnace. We're obviously below 90 degrees today, so the AC is going to shut off. And the furnace is going to kick on.
Oh, you did.
Yep. Furnace is on. AC is off now. You can hear the fan in the background. If you try to light your furnace first without lighting your stovetop and stuff like that, it just won't light. Propane won't be there yet. So always light your furnace, or sorry, your stovetop before you try to light your furnace. Then we're just going to push the mode button again. It'll go to the off switch, and now the flame will come off the furnace. It'll go out, but the fan will continue to run just to blow any excess heat. We have the fridge right here, Brendan. This is the gas electric fridge. I turn it on or off. Okay. If I push this button, it'll go to auto, which means it'll automatically run on hydro. If I unplug the trailer, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If I push this button out, it's going to run just on gas. It'll force it to run on gas no matter what. Button in runs on hydro if you have it, otherwise flips over to gas. Button out is just gas. On, off. Okay. The way to adjust the temperature on this style of fridge is this fin right here. The higher this fin is, or this plastic piece that has the thermostat in it, the colder the fridge will get. The further down it is, the warmer the fridge will get. Okay. Now, the panel. This is where a lot of stuff kind of comes together. Would you say, Brendan?
Yes.
So we have our slide switch in or out. Pretty straightforward. A good rule of thumb is to always run your slide all the way out or all the way in. Don't run it halfway. If you run it halfway in or out, it won't seal. And with the Schwintek style slide, like the style that has the rail down the side, it kind of messes up with the calibration. So always run your slide in or out all the way. In or out for your awning. That's pretty straightforward around that. We have lights, awning lights, entry light, and tank heaters, Brendan.
Big move.
Big move. 12-volt tank heaters. So we turn those on. There's a 12-volt blanket that's going to heat up the bottom of the tank, just for good for getting those shoulder kind of seasons. We've got our water pump right here. We have this on because we have water in the freshwater tank, and we're using the water pump to pump things to our shower or toilet or whatever, right? If you have city water connection, so you have water at the site, there's no reason to have your water pump on. We have your electric water heater and your gas water heater. The gas water heater will work faster. You'll get hot water in like 45 minutes. The electric water heater, it takes about an hour or so. If you light your electric water heater and there's no water in the water tank, it's going to blow the elements. So make sure you have water in the tank before you light your electric water heater. The gas one's not too big of a deal. It'll just kind of smoke the tank a little bit. And then right here we can see the levels of the black water, the gray water, the fresh water, the battery. And if they light up fully, then they're full. If they light up like 1/3 or whatever, you can see that right through there. Pretty straightforward, Brendan?
Yep.
Okay. If you try to light your water heater and it doesn't light for whatever reason, like there's no gas or there's something in the lines or something like that, there's a little red light there that will light up. Okay. When you run on gas, you'll actually hear it go click, 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 and then the flame will come on. Brandon can hear it.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but cool. So that's good there. Anything else you want to touch on, Brandon, before we go into winterizing?
No, I feel like we did it.
Okay, right on, folks. So now we're going to move into winterizing a Winnebago Minnie. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure all the plumbing's off. So we're going to shut the water pump off. We're going to unhook the city water, however you got things hooked up. Then we're going to drain everything. We're going to drain the gray water, the black water, the fresh water, the low point drains, and the water heater. So we'll go outside to do all that.
Hi ho, it's off to work we go.
There we go. Now, Brandon, every low point drain in all these models is in different spots. So you got to find it where it is on your particular model. But we're going to open the valve. Okay. Open those up. Now, I put this plug here in the water heater on by hand, so you can take it out by hand as well. But when you've been using this for the whole summer or whatever, you're going to use a wrench. It's an 1/16" socket. Now this is going to shoot out at me. I'm just going to be careful here. Oh, not too bad. So we'll let that drain. So that's your low points, your water heater. Got to make sure your gate valves are open on your sewer drain. Oof, almost got me. Almost, Brennan. Open. Freshwater tank has got to be open.
Normally you'd have your slide closed.
Yep. And then your gray water, your black water, and your gray water open. So we've drained all that. That's the lines, the water heater, the gray water, the black water, and the fresh water. Now you need to find where your water pump is. On this particular model, it's underneath the kitchen sink, or in the kitchen sink area. Now, on these Winnebagos, oh, I forgot to do one thing, Brendan.
What would we forget?
Close up the low point trains.
Oh.
If I don't close these drains, the antifreeze is just going to run right out, right? So make sure these are closed. After you've made sure they're empty, close them, and you're good to go. Now you have the water pump right here. On these Winnebagos, they give you a siphon kit. So there's a valve right here off the water pump, Brendan. And there's a valve here. We're going to flip this valve 90 degrees towards this open line. Okay?
Yes.
Then we're going to open up our antifreeze jug. Put the line in the antifreeze jug. What's next, Brennan?
Turn the pump on.
Nope.
Oh.
We need to bypass the water heater.
Right.
So, in this particular model, the water heater is actually right beside the water pump. So, there's basically this line right here that will bypass the water heater. So instead of water going in the bottom of the tank and out the top, you basically just flip these valves 90 degrees. Yeah. And that forces the antifreeze to go around the water heater. That way you're not wasting 6 gallons of antifreeze, and you won't always have that taste of antifreeze because it's stuck in the tank. So bypass your water heater, flip your siphon kit to the open line, and now we should be able to flip the water pump on. Water pump is up to pressure. I'm going to run antifreeze through both sides of my kitchen tap. Boom. And I always run a little bit extra just so that there's enough down the drain. Both sides of my bathroom tap. Sink. Done. Down my toilet. Tank. Both sides of my shower.
Did you unclog it? You're not unclogging it.
No. Yep. Running low on antifreeze. Stick again. And then we gotta do the outside shower and the outside spray port.
And
What's that? Outside kitchen.
yep.
Right on. So we just swapped out with a new gallon of antifreeze. Now we're gonna run both sides of the taps in the outside kitchen. So. Take our outside spray port hose. I'll make it sprayed here. that. Antifreeze. And the outside shower. Okay. So that's effectively running antifreeze through all the lines. Now to finish things up, I'm going to go inside, shut the water pump off. Open up all my lines again. Open up all the lines, and then come back to these low point drains. Open up again. This way, you drain out the antifreeze. And you won't have like the stink or whatever left. Now I'm just gonna go back, put the cap back on my hot water heater, flip the bypass on the water heater back to normal, and flip the siphon kit and the water heater back to normal. That's the video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was dry and boring, but I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Leave us a comment down below, and have yourself a good day.